Hi everyone, it's Narelle here from Miss Nellie Makes. I just want to share with you a very basic pattern that I've created. I just love the idea of taking a very humble utilitarian object such as our margarine container and reusing it into something that is functional and creative. So the pattern is quite generic in that you could use any size container. The important thing to remember is that the circumference or the edge, the distance around the edge of your container is what will determine the number of holes or perforations required. So in this case, I ended up with approximately 54. Now, the other aspect of this pattern is that you will need to use crochet hooks in varying sizes. So to begin with, you would need a 1.5 millimeter metric 1.5 millimeter crochet hook in order to fit through the holes that you've created. You would then progress for round 2 to a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook, and then from round 3 onwards you will be able to use your 3.5 millimeter. The most challenging part of this process is attaching the yarn to your actual container. It's quite a wrestling match. And all you are doing is making a slip stitch through each of these holes so that by the end of round 1 you end up hopefully with a situation like this. So you can see the foundation chain are these slip stitches. I've then gone on to do round 2, which is a second row of slip stitches into that previous round of slip stitches, which is then joined. Round 3 is where you are able to use your 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and you are going to insert a single crochet into each of these slip stitches. So therefore, here's one I prepared earlier. This is rounds 3, 4 and 5 in your single crochet, and essentially what you're creating is almost a cuff, and you want this to comfortably fold over the lip or the rim of your container, like so. So that's rounds 3, 4 and 5. Essentially what will happen is that you will end up with, I can just wrestle one of these off. Piece of crochet fabric that is being worked from the inside out. Now, when I was a little girl, my grandmother brought me one of the little Russian knitting dolls, or knitting dolls, and essentially this is the same process as if you're working on even like a knitting loom. So the length of your piece is growing as you're working from the right side, out. So we're creating, in a sense, we're creating like a cuff. And all this does is you want it firm and you want it snug. all you're doing is simply folding the cuff like so. And then you end up with a nice snug fit. You will progress with single crochet down to row or round 25. This being round 25, then the pattern will instruct you to make decrease round. And so round 26, 27 and 28 will be decrease round, which will form another round underneath the bottom or the base of your container, and the work will actually turn, and as it turns it will tighten and form underneath the base of your work. Right, so that's just a very basic overview of the process involved. So stay safe, stay well, and as that great revered man of history, John Bon Jovi, says, one of my favourite 80s bands of all time, keep the faith. We'll see you later. Bye.